Hi, it's us again. Welcome to
Hi.
the Grammar Police. I don't know why I'm sorry, I'm really low energy today.
Yeah,
Hello
literally
everyone.
same.
This is really difficult for me. I think you know what? I think that the reason why I'm so like mardy and low energy is because of the weather. I don't know if you feel the same.
Yeah, it's actually really hot in Finland right now.
How many degrees are we saying?
Well, I'm on an island right now, so it's not too hot here. It's only like 24, but in Lahti, it's like 30 degrees.
Ugh. Did you get kidnapped? Why are you on an island?
Well, I'm in my summer cottage.
Ah, and it is on an island.
Yes. Yes, which is very
Funky.
nice.
Yeah. It must be nice and cool. But what about the mosquitoes?
Well, you just have to accept your fate, I think.
Yeah, that's true, that's true.
What about you? How's Spain?
Oh, don't talk to me about it. I'm trying to pretend that I'm in, like, the Arctic Ocean at the moment, or back in the Ice Age, or I'm literally anywhere else but Madrid right now. It's okay, this week it's not been so bad, but the last couple of weeks there was a huge heat wave. One of my students told me it was like 45 degrees in the south of Spain,
Oh,
and
God.
I was dying. It's horrible because you try to sleep and then you wake up and you're just like sweating and you can't move because you just didn't like, you're so dehydrated and tired and you just feel like a zombie. You can't concentrate, you can't do anything. It's awful.
I can't
So yeah,
even
it's great. I'm
imagine.
having a great time.
Yeah, it does really seem like it. But what are we doing today, Emily?
So, I thought what could be a good idea for a low energy episode is a high energy phrasal verb practice. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice.
What we're going to do is we're going to talk about some popular phrasal verbs associated with the word work. These phrasal verbs are very popular. We use them very, very much in English. So we hope that these three will be helpful for you in your English learning journey. So, Anna, can you please start us off?
Yes. So the first phrasal verb that we'll be talking about is work out, which has several meanings. The first meaning for workout is to exercise, which I think a lot of people already know. So to work out is to exercise, to run, to go for a hike, to swim, to do any sort of exercise.
Absolutely. Do you like working out, Anna?
Yes and no. I think I love dancing. I don't know if that counts as a workout.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, nice use of the noun form of workout there. If you want to say an exercise routine, you can say, I'm going to do a workout instead of saying, I am working out. But yeah, that definitely counts as a workout for sure.
Yeah, well, sometimes when I do it, it's more like just flailing your arms about than, actually doing any form of clever things.
Is your body moving? Then it's a workout. That's what I say.
Yeah.
No shame in that. No shame in that. For me, I like working out, but the problem is that right now, because of the weather, it doesn't matter if you move your arms for 10 minutes or 2 seconds, you'll be sweating and dying very easily. It's awful. It's truly awful. I went to the gym a few days ago, and I think I was in the gym for a good 30 seconds before I started sweating my life away. It was terrible. Awful, awful, awful. So I like working out too, but not in this weather. Jesus. It's
Yeah,
better when it's
no.
cold.
That's
But,
true.
yes. So anyways, another meaning of workout, because of course in many cases, popular phrasal verbs tend to have more than one meaning. Another common meaning is to fix a problem or to solve a problem. I'd like to give two examples for this particular meaning of the phrasal verb. So, for example, when I was in primary school and secondary school, sometimes when we had maths class, we would have a big problem, like a big question. You know, those typical, like, Peter is setting off on the train, taking 30 kilometers per hour to arrive to a place that's 100 kilometers away, and Susan's going, you know, these ridiculous, really long questions that you have to calculate. Now, when you receive this question, the explanation is there on the paper, and then it will also say, work out your answer, which means calculate your answer or figure out your answer, which is just to solve the problem. So when, in terms of academics, we use work out to talk about maths problems all the time. Another example of a thing that we can work out is a personal problem. Maybe if you had an argument with somebody or a breakup or something very dramatic, you can say that you worked it out if you fixed the problem between you and your partner or your friend. So, for example, Anna, you were telling me that you had an argument with one of your friends recently. What happened in the end?
We worked it out.
Easy, right? You see how easy that was? Three words. Worked it out. Done. Okay, so the meaning of work out in this case means to fix a problem. And it can be a mathematical one or an emotional one with feelings and emotions. How nice. Right, let's move on to the next one.
Yes, the next one we have is work on. So work on, again, can mean several things. So for example, it can mean to improve something, to put some effort and some time into improving something. For example, I'm working on my English pronunciation skills.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I am also working on my English pronunciation skills. I have realised recently that my accent is a little bit too British. But you know, it's natural, no? When you are learning a language, it is important to work on a variety of things. Your pronunciation, your grammar, your vocabulary, all of these things need to be worked on if you want to get a higher level of that language. Nice. Cool. To work on something, I think Anna has described it perfectly, can simply mean to improve something. Perhaps if you have a personal trainer, maybe you're going to work out with your personal trainer, and he says, what would you like to work on today? What would you like to improve? Or what would you like to add to? This is the meaning of work on, to add more things to a project or to add your improvements. So if you say, I'd like to work on my legs, I'd like to improve my leg abilities, my leg strength or something like this, right? I'm just realizing that a lot of these have to do with exercise. Interesting. I didn't really think about it until recently. But yes, it's true a lot. I mean, of course, if it's related to work, then it's highly likely that it's going to have something to do with exercise. Anything that involves hard work, no. But yes, very good. So work on can mean to improve something, or it can also mean to add to something. For example, in the context of a project, maybe if someone says, hey, Emily, do you want to go to the bar tonight? Which never happens to me. If anybody would like to ask me to go to the bar, I am available. Just let me know, okay? But when somebody says, hey, would you like to go to the bar tonight? I say, no, sorry, I'm working on my podcast. I am adding things to the Instagram, or I'm adding a new episode for all of y'all to listen to, or something like this. I'm working on it. I'm adding more to it. And finally, we have one more phrasal verb. So, Anna, please do the honours for us.
Yes, we have work up, which again can mean several things, if you didn't guess by now. For example, you can use it to say to get worked up or to be worked up, which is to be upset or kind of stressed about something.
It's used a lot in American English, isn't it? Saying something like that. Like, Americans will be like, instead of saying don't worry, they might say something like, hey, don't get too worked up about it.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, that explains why I don't know, I don't think I use it much myself.
It's like worked up. For me, we would say something completely different in British English. It's more common to hear us say, obviously, worry, or a synonym for worry, which is fret. F-R-E-T, to fret. Don't fret.
Wait, to fret?
Yes,
Oh,
don't fret.
that's really funny because I play guitar and a fret is like a
fret is
of a
completely
guitar.
different. Don't guitar. Don't do it. It sounds ridiculous now, but yes, don't fret. It's like an old-fashioned thing to say, I feel like, because my grandma might say something like that. Don't fret. You don't need to fret about that. But you could also say don't get too worked up. And I've also heard worked up used in like a positive way as well. Like, I'm so worked up about this, but I feel like this is incorrect and you should probably focus on negative meanings of worked up. Sounds better. If you say I'm worked up about something, it's like I'm annoyed, I'm upset. Okay. But yes, very good. And another meaning of worked up for fun, because it's Saturday and we enjoy the fun. To work up can mean to like provoke or cause or create. So for example, it's quite common to say to work up something when it's used as a phrasal verb instead of an adjective as Anna has given it. So for instance, I could say, wow, I was working out all day, so now I have worked up an appetite. So it's like I have created within myself an appetite because I was exercising, because I was working out all day. I've caused an appetite. I've caused myself to be hungry, no? I don't know. I can't think of another example with work up.
You can also work up the courage to do something.
Yes, no? That's true. That's true. Absolutely. So if you work up the courage to do something, it means that you have to sort of train yourself, convince yourself. Or a good synonym is to encourage yourself, give yourself courage. Right? We have so many ways of saying the same thing in English.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm teaching, I start to realize how awful some of these things are, and I just think, you poor guys. I'm so sorry. It's so complicated.
It truly is. That's why translating, I think, is so difficult, especially using something like Google Translate, into English, because there are so many ways to say different things, and sometimes the different meanings have or the different ways to say the same thing have slightly different nuances.
Absolutely. It's very punctual. No, it totally depends on every single situation in some cases, and it depends on your formality, informality, all of these things. I'm sure our students will have already heard before, but it's good to have some more phrasal verbs in your personal bank, your personal inventory. We hope that this episode has been useful. Your arsenal, your army of phrasal verbs that you will use maybe once in your life. And I'm just kidding. You will use them all the time because we told you to. But it's always good to have a special bank of phrasal verbs to use whenever you can. Yes. So we hope that this episode was useful for you.
Yes, we hope you enjoyed it.
So what are you going to do after today's episode, Anna? Where are you going to go? What are you going to do?
I think I'm going to work on some Italian pronunciation. I've got my Italian books with me here. And I'm going to go and lie on the beach and just work on my Italian.
Sounds great.
What about you?
Not dissimilar from you. I'm going to be working on my German this evening. I know, very romantic way to spend your Saturday night. I can't remember what day it is. Screaming at yourself in the mirror in German. It's going to be wonderful. Yes. But yes, I think it's too hot to work out today. I think I'm going to hide in my house And that's pretty much it. So
Yeah.
I think this class has sort of made me work up an appetite. I don't know about you, Anna.
Yeah, a little bit, I think. I just also want to say happy midsummer to all Nordic people listening to this. In the Nordic countries, it's currently midsummer.
Ah, yes. Are you having fun?
Yes, very much so. I mean, it's more relaxing than it is fun, but yes.
Well, it's the same thing. Anything that isn't doing work and being angry and things like this, that's fun. That's fun to me. What have you been doing? I saw that you went fishing.
Yes. Well, that's pretty much the only thing I've been doing. Just, like, laying down, fishing, going back to laying down.
That sounds so good. So jealous of you. That sounds wonderful. Well, I hope that you continue to have a great time in midsummer, and the same goes to everybody else in the Nordic countries. Have a great time. Let us know what you've been doing in the comments. So, thank you very much for coming, everyone, even though we've said that 400 times already. And we'll see you next week for another episode of The Road to B2.
Yes, thank you, everyone. See you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment below if you have any questions related to the topic, and we will try our best to respond to you. Please subscribe to the channel for a new podcast episode every Saturday, as well as essential tips during the week. See you next time!